Good morning, consumer behavior class. It's already Monday morning. Hope everybody had a good weekend. This is product placement, by the way. This is not subliminal advertising. You see the word Coke. Subliminal, you do not see a Coke ad embedded in a commercial, like a flash, real quick. So product placement is used all the time and it's very effective. You see product placement in movies. You see in the TV show The Office with the Cisco phones, the Dell computers. Your brain registers, you see it. It's effective advertising. Subliminal, on the other hand, is a hoax. It's hype. It's never been proven that it gets you to buy or do things. So while it's out there and people do it just kind of for the hype, it doesn't have any effect on getting you and I to buy more McDonald's if we see an embedded arch in some artwork or whatever. Below the subconsciousness does not have any relevancy in getting us to buy more. So subliminal advertising is a hoax. Product placement, a t-shirt and a YouTube video, is very effective. So for all of you like me that are addicted to Coke, you're probably a little more thirsty. So anyways. A couple things for this week. The term paper, July 4th. Make it fun. 5 pages. One topic out of all those topics. I think there's 70 topics I gave you. Just one. You'll find the term paper on the lesson tab or getting started. It's worth 100 points. It's worth a test grade. Become an expert on one of the topics. If I was doing it, I would do it on peer pressure. I would do it on attitude and consumer behavior, people's attitudes, different personalities, a personality like narcissism. Become an expert in a topic. Have fun with it. Yeah, I want you to use the correct grammar and I want you to write it on your own, but I'm not looking for any English teacher format. I'm not an English teacher. I won't be grading too much other than if I can see a bunch of mistakes or you lifted it off from someone else. Don't do that. We have something called Safe Assign, which can find out if you've just copied and pasted a paper. So you don't want to do that. And that doesn't happen much at Wake Tech. It has. This week, the most important key term, and I put a discussion post, a Zig Ziglar attitude. Attitude in consumer behavior is critical to understand. Having a bad attitude about something is really hard to change. Having a good attitude about something can be hard to change. You can change your attitude from bad to good, but you have to work on it. And Zig Ziglar gives you the opportunity to change your attitude, and this works if you follow what he says. So I want you to spend a little time on that discussion post. Some of you who aren't real big fans of your job or hate your job are going to feel different if you do exactly what he says. But attitude in relation to consumer goods is really hard to change. For example, I grew up at a time where American cars were not as good as they are now. My parents owned a Ford Pinto. I don't know if you remember in the 70s, but Ford Pintos used to literally blow up. The gas tanks would blow up. People died. And Ford back in the 70s, early 80s stood for Found on Road Dead or Fix or Repair Daily. Now, I know Ford is better today than back when I was a kid, but I still would never own a Ford. I still wouldn't even buy an American-made car because I have a bad attitude of how bad those cars were compared to Japanese and German and other countries' cars. So I've only owned German and Japanese cars my whole life. To change my attitude to buy a Ford, I would almost have to be given one to drive, even though I know they're popular and they're much better than they used to be, okay? Attitudes can be really hard to change, and for marketers, they have to understand how hard it is to change. When Toyota had that big catastrophe 8 years ago with the accelerator and 37 people died, they blamed it on floor mats. The pedal got stuck under the floor mat. The reality was that wasn't true. And they found a memo documenting the problem, which was an electronic problem in the ignition. And attitudes, Toyota branding went from #1 and it went down, but people's attitudes stayed pretty much the same, even in a catastrophe like that. It's hard to change people's attitudes. Look at the political situation. Do I need to say more in this country? Look at the political situation and changing attitudes. Even when the truth is right in somebody's face, hard to change your attitude. So keep attitudes in the forefront of your mind as you're reading the next chapter due on the 13th of June. Office hours, Monday through Thursday, call me between 8 and 10. Again, call, do not text. Please do not text me. I'm not, #1, it's rude. #2, you're not supposed to be texting your instructor. I'm not allowed to have texting between me and students, yet I still get texting from a few students in every class. You need to either send me an email, call me, or do Teams, okay? We'll get your concern or your question answered a lot faster that way. I will not be returning text effective immediately. I don't get a lot. All I'm saying is I get some. Have a great week. Look forward to talking to some of you or a lot of you this week, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.